Okay.
Right, our title is Fistful of Steel. It's a thriller and it's going to be a short film. We're going to have it somewhere like quiet, I don't know where, maybe in like garages, I don't know. It's going to be late afternoon. We have Adam, who's Ollie, and Stanley, who's Malcolm.
Like we're going to have, so previously from a drug deal, Stanley owns Adam money, and we're going to open it with a fight scene between the two, where they bump into each other, and Adam is punishing Stanley for not giving him the money, and then that's the whole 2 minutes of the fight between the two. And then our target audience is 15 and above, so around our age, because it's a thriller and it's a fight scene and it like causes entertainment. We looked at Sherlock Holmes, and they had the fight scene in the club, and we're going to try and copy sound effects and scenes from that.
And the the voiceovers as well.
Yeah, so the voiceover explaining what happened previously between the two of them.
So I am the producer, so I'm going to be managing the team and make sure we're up to date on.
You can just say basically sort of what jobs you're going to do. You don't have to explain to us what
Right.
you're going to do within those. Just
Right. So I'm also the director. I'm in charge of the shot and everything else. Malcolm is the writer. He came up with the script and the idea. Holly is the editor. She'll be sitting out with the film and the sound editor, and also the cinematographer and the composer. He does a lot. Malcolm's doing the storyboard artist and the location scout and technical director, and all of us are going to be sorting out the costumes, and Holly's also doing the makeup, and that's it.
okay. So thoughts on that one, Georgia?
What are you going to use to like sell your film and like get it out there?
So this is basically like the unique selling points of all what would appeal to audiences about yours, you know?
Because it's like entertainment from a fight, it will appeal to like people that our age, because they want to see entertainment happening.
Mostly like boys,
Yeah.
like action adventure.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a sort of a crime film.
Because we're going to have a voiceover over the fight explaining what happened previously between Stanley and Adam about owing Adam money from the drug deal and what happened before between the two, so you understand like why.
So I'm guessing you've seen Sherlock Holmes.
Sorry, say again.
Have you seen the Sherlock Holmes film?
Yes.
Yeah, you know, like when he freezes and he's talking about like what he is going to do before he actually does it.
Right.
So he's going to like stun him with the karate chops to the neck. That's what we're pretty much going to do.
So we're going to explain like what happened previously between the two of them, so they understand why they're fighting. So it's not just for no reason. So
Okay.
the audience understand.
Okay. So voiceover that's sort of operating to sort of help us to understand it. And what about sort of the fight scene? What do we think we need to
How are
do?
you going to choreograph your fight scene?
Well, we've been researching on YouTube and like previous fight scenes, and they explain how you can do it. So we're going to work it out between the three of us and film it like separately and put it together through the editing.
Fight scenes do require lots of planning,
Yeah.
lots of careful planning.
Yeah, we took what Jimmy said, like with the vegetables, bashing against like a bat or something.
Obviously, that's to do with sound, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Yep.
I'm going to do stuff like
But what is really important as well is your camera positions and thinking out all of that, because they're quickly edited, and the camera is positioned to avoid you seeing that people are often not
They're
being
not faking it, so they're not being hit.
they're not being hit.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to do quite a bit of research into that. Who's going to do that research?
Jimmy, yeah, I'll research it and I'll look at it.
Yeah. So who's the director?
that. Me.
So if you research it and he's the director, how does he tell people what to do?
I'll tell him what to research.
I think you need to be involved in that process, and if Holly's cinematographer, she also needs to know how to choreograph a fight scene, because she needs to know how to set the camera up. So you guys definitely need to be doing that, I think. Okay, Charlie?
When it comes to the fights, you introduce like close-up camera shots and camera shake and like deep intense light music, so it kind of represents the whole fight scene being intense and actionful.
There is a possibility of using music. They could also use sound effects, as they were saying, couldn't they? So again, so look at some influential films that do that. Not just your Sherlock Holmes ones. Look at other sort of good fight scenes in films. Okay. Other thoughts, George?
Who's going to be like the main focus? Because generally, when you're watching a fight scene, you want your like viewers to be rooting for someone.
Okay.
So like, who would that be?
So that's going to be you.
Stanley, yeah. It's going to be more for Stanley because they feel sorry, like, going to try and make the audience feel sorry for him by having voiceover explaining what happened. So it's where Stanley has been in trouble before and Adam's had to help him get out of it, and then Adam's the one who starts the fight. So we want the audience cheering Stanley on, wanting him to win the fight, like, so he doesn't get hurt or anything from what happened.
Can we get through all the sort of backstory with the voiceover and the fight in the 2 minutes? Or sort of like...
Yeah, because it's we're not like explaining in full detail. It's going to be a brief like summary of what happened before. Like we're not explaining it bit by bit. So
Okay. So again, very important that you to think carefully about how much you need to tell. Have you thought about your titles at all? How they're going to be sort of introduced into all of this?
Have it like going throughout the whole fight, coming through.
Again, you probably need to look at fight scenes that perhaps are sort of combined with titles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie, yeah.
If you wanted to create sympathy for Stanley, you could have it so he didn't want to do the drug deal, but someone kind of had some sort of dirt on him and he had to do it as part of like a blackmail or something. So you kind of feel like he's a good character overall, he didn't want to do it, but then he kind of got into this problem and he shouldn't have.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Yep.
Will you be, after the fight scene, sort of suggesting to the audience where the story will head, in what direction it's heading next? Like, is it like a revenge type? Or, I mean, I don't know, is he going to lose the fight?
Next, we're going to have like Stanley winning the fight in the end because he's the smaller one of the two.
Yeah.
So and then we're going to have Adam wanting to still punish him for what's happened, but after that.
Okay. Any other ideas? Yeah, Harry.
Is Ollie going to fight?
No, I'm not going to fight.
She's on the camera. Daisy.
Are you using any like props within the fight? Because usually like in fight scenes, like if they fall into walls or something, it's like a fake wall or whatever.
Yeah, and
So
hitting
using-
people
like,
with
fake
objects.
glass and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
using any
It's
props.
just a fist fight, that's why it's called fist fight.
No, we'll probably have something like that.
No, that's why it's called fist fight still. It's gonna be fist
Yeah,
fight.
but
I've got to see.
we've got some questions.
Okay, Georgia.
Are you going to be using makeup to like show where the fighting aftermath of it?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
cuts and stuff?
Yeah.
That's a very good point, because you will find that, won't you, in these fight scenes that sort of characters gradually become injured. Dirtier, blood might sort of appear on sort of shirts and things like that. So
So yeah, when someone gets smacked, like, just pause it, put a bit of
Yeah.
ketchup on our faces. I don't know, it looks like blood, doesn't it? So yeah, and then we'll unpause it and just carry on from where we were.
And then when the editing comes to it, Holly will like edit it so it merges together, it looks smoother.
okay, it's gonna take more work than you think.
Yeah.
This, they are not easy to do, so it's a challenge. If you sort of embrace that challenge and you research it and you really plan it, it will look great. If you don't, it will look rubbish. It'll just look like a bunch of school kids pretending to have a fight. Okay, so bear that in mind.
Yeah.